Now, Sudanese citizens have hailed the peace agreement between rival factions in the country. They expressed delight for being able to return to their home without thinking of their safety, as they say there cannot be any meaningful development without peace and unity. Sudan has been in the midst of a political crisis since a long-serving ruler, Omar al-Bashir, was overthrown in April. Detail in this report.
Ali Adam is a Sudanese businessman who has lived in Juba for the past 11 years. He says he is happy that peace is now returning to Sudan.
We want Sudan to develop. Without peace, without unity, without forgiving each other, we cannot achieve any development in our country, Sudan. We are now happy that peace is coming. All will be fine.
The peace deal signed in Juba is expected to end 17 years of conflict that displaced hundreds of thousands of people from Sudan. Many Sudanese living in South Sudan are hopeful that the recently signed deal will allow them to go back to their homeland. Mediators say they are hopeful that total peace will return to Khartoum.
Those who have not signed the peace agreement are also for peace. They have a different idea on how the security arrangements should be, but they have been with us throughout the negotiations. They never left Juba. I believe that all groups are for peace. I believe those who are not yet part of the agreement will join soon.
The Sudanese peace agreement dictates that opposition armed groups be integrated into Sudan's armed forces. It also addresses the issue of power sharing to deal with grievances of those who felt that they were politically marginalized. The displaced can also return home. The Sudanese government under former President Omar Hassan al-Bashir was at war with various rebel groups. Many of them say they were fighting for infrastructural development in their regions and political representation. The current peace deal still does not mean the war has ended. Two rebel groups are still rejecting it. They are demanding the creation of a secular state in Sudan rather than an Islamic state. They are also rejecting the integration of their troops into Sudan's armed forces for at least 20 years. Sudan's government says it is engaging the groups in negotiations in Ethiopia.
We're ready to have discussions with groups who did not sign the peace deal. We want to address concerns of all groups in Sudan. We want the problems of the Nuba Mountains and Darfur to be resolved so that there is total peace in Sudan.
Some Sudanese refugees had been sentenced to death in absentia during the time of former President Omar al-Bashir, but are now free to return to Sudan. Ali Adam says now he has established himself in Juba. He might not return to Khartoum permanently, but he says he is happy he can now go and see his family and return without being concerned about his security.
That agreement on the peace deal in Sudan